Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Shirley-Anne Somerville is truly an awful person, as well as being a bit thick, but she really has no real grasp of anything. And she talks a good game. She's in charge of all the benefits and that, and she likes to talk up about how great she is and wonderful things she's done. But it's down to her that so many people are actually in deep poverty and struggling hard. And so they won't be really pleased when she stands there in Holyrood and tells everyone what a fantastic job she's doing and how much better it would be if there was independence and they had total control over the benefits system. Seeing how bad they do with everything else they're in control of, the people on benefits must be absolutely cacking themselves if ever they get control. Fortunately, it's not something that's ever likely to happen, so, common sense will reign. But they didn't half tear her a new one when she was in there and saying these things in the chamber. Both Labour and the Tories were sort of loaded into her. And her response was, on seeing both of them go against her, "Oh, so you're siding with the Tories now," she said to the Labour guy. I don't believe he was siding at anyone. I think he was just stating the truth, that Shirley-Anne Somerville is an awful human being. Anyway, we'll take a look, see what she was saying, and see the mirth and mockery that followed. Here goes. So SNP, and more specifically Shirley-Anne Somerville, told Benefits brag is hypothetical and it beggars belief given their current failure. I think that word failure applies to just about everything they do though, doesn't it? Quick to call out the SNP for rehashing their latest independence paper. Opposition MSPs have said it is fantasy during a scrutiny session at Holyrood. And there she is. Shirley-Anne Somerville, although in that picture I think she looks more like Jimmy Somerville. That tiny little tight mean mouth. She is a very mean person, I think. Shirley-Anne Somerville, MSP, has been told her talk of Scotland's social security prowess in the event of Skexit is all hypothetical and that a government should focus on doing what it can achieve within devolution. Well, it can't achieve anything. It's tried 17 years to achieve things. It just can't because it's pointless and useless. The Cabinet Secretary for Social Security told MSPs that the latest Building a New Scotland indie paper will build on the progress already made after fellow Nat, James Dornan, God help us, the brute in a suit, another one, is he not gone yet? He raised the point prior to FMQs at Holyrood on Thursday that the SNP think their ambitions cannot be fully achieved within the limits of devolution. Well, no, that's the whole point. You don't want them to have complete control. They're making a pig's ear of everything they have over the control they've got. To give them more, that would be mindlessly dim, wouldn't it? Scottish Conservative MSP Miles Briggs told the Scottish Express it beggars belief that the SNP are talking about taking full control of social security in Scotland when they're failing to use the extensive welfare powers they already have at their disposal right now. Paul O'Kane from Scottish Labour was accused of siding with the Tories when he told MSPs, "Excuse me for stating the obvious, but this paper is the latest iteration of what the SNP might do in a hypothetical future, and it does nothing to support Scotland's social security system right now." Well, that's because it's fallen down, it's broken, it can't be fixed. And it certainly can't be fixed with the SNP at the helm. Mr Dornan asked the Scottish Government at topical questions how the independence proposals would support Scotland's social security system. Mr O'Kane interjected and said the government should be focused on running a properly functioning system now in Scotland rather than dealing what is a hypothetical future. And he's of course quite right. He listed failures like an overspend on IT from a budgeted 4 million to 12.5 million, waits for processing claims for adult disability payments and other benefits that are through the roof, and added that the SNP delayed the time span of key benefits, leaving them in the hands of the DWP despite the powers being devolved. Give them an inch, they won't take a mile. They can't use the powers they already have. They want more? Stupid, isn't it? The Scottish Government was handed the power to run its own social security system following the 2014 independence referendum, but it has struggled to keep costs down and keep Scots happy. The party was blasted after it was revealed that the complaints rose by 350% in just 1 year. That goes to show that they are not fit for purpose. They just cannot do the job. Oh, let us have the powers. Okay, you got the powers. We can't do it. We can't do it. We don't want the powers. Well, tough. Shadow Cabinet Secretary for Social Security, Mr. Briggs, said their latest separation paper is based on fantasy. Well, of course, everything to do with independence is a fantasy because it will never come to pass. They need to be told that they cannot do it and to stop doing it. While the SNP focus on pushing their relentless obsession with independence, only the Scottish Conservatives are focused on Scotland's real priorities, growing the economy and unacceptable NHS waiting list times. I think Labour might be interested in something like that as well. I mean, it's a bit of party politicking rather. But, you know, any option, isn't it? Oh, quick, let's get it in. The NAT Minister said, I will give one example of how we've used our powers already. That is, of course, through the Scottish Child Payment. And the reason we're doing that is because of the inadequate level of universal credit. It is a shame, though, that whether it is the Tories or whether it's Labour, we will have to continue to mitigate against the worst excesses of any UK government because of the absolute refusal of either of the parties to actually take seriously the impact that welfare reform has had on their citizens. And isn't it a shame Mr. Kane's party seems quite happy to back the Tories and actually keep people in poverty? Well, if anyone's keeping people in poverty, it's the SNP. They need poverty. They need misery. Because if people are happy, people don't vote for the SNP. And so poverty and misery is the order of the day for these people. And I still can't get over that tight little mouth. She's a very unforgiving and stern woman, isn't she? Unlovable, unloving and unloved, I think. Don't know. Maybe she's married. Who knows? Don't care either. But if she's like that at home, probably not. But to go on there and go, oh, look at us. Look, we've got this imaginary future where everything in the garden will be rosy. What's it like now? It's a shithole. Well, why not sort out what the garden is now and not pretend that everything is going to be better in the future? Don't you think that's a good idea? But no, because that's hard work, costs money, and quite beyond their capabilities, I think. She's another one. Not very bright, not very good at her job. Seems to think she talks a good game, but all we're hearing is wah, 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 wah. Oh well, never mind. Coming up. Shirley-Anne Somerville's another one of those, a bit like Shona Robinson really, over-promoted, put into a senior role because, you know, the optics are such. Oh, we've got to have a senior woman in the role, got to have so many women, tick a box, tick a box. Not that they're any good, just that they happen to be women. And I think that is actually rather misogynistic, really, isn't it? It's like you're pandering. Yes, dear, you can do the job, dear. You're not very good at it, but don't worry. We'll give you the job so it looks good. You know, rather than someone actually being, you know, given the job because they are good. That'd be ideal, wouldn't it? Have a meritocracy. You're there because you deserve to be, not because you're a box tick. And that's what happens. Inadequate and stupid people get promoted beyond their abilities. Anyway, I shall stop there. Only a quick one. Thank you very much for watching. Do keep an eye out for the next one, and do please hit the supply button, the subscribe button. Think a word. Anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, and I will talk to you later. Bye.